Good afternoon and welcome to Thursday's Working Lunch.
And the dragon shows his soft side. There it is. Give us a smile. There we are. Duncan Bannatyne is here to talk about the most effective way to give money away.
Now, when does a dragon become a knight in shining armour? Well, of course, when he tries to help charities to the tune of £900 million. Well, that's what entrepreneur Duncan Bannatyne hopes to do. He's going to join me in a moment, but first of all, let's see Duncan when he first came to prominence on our screens back on the very first series of Dragon's Den.
I don't actually believe in your product. I think it's something that I might buy out of a toy shop and take home for the kids on a Sunday morning when I'm having a barbecue for a bit of a laugh and then throw it in the bin. But apart from that, I wouldn't put my name on it. I think you're wasting your money. I think you're wasting your time. I don't think this has got any future whatsoever. I wouldn't have it in my house. And I don't know anyone who would. Have you got one in your house?
Of course.
Strung to your ceiling?
Yes.
I'd love to see it, but I'm just not interested. What percentage of the company would you give up for £80,000?
Well,
I said 100, you said
yes.
8. Is there a negotiation point now?
Yes, 10. Yes, it's not the price, it's what it does for you.
I think I'm the last one to declare myself out, but I'm declaring myself out. But thank you very much. I'd love to come to the castle sometime and have a drink with you.
You will do. I'll keep you to that promise, and thank you very much.
I said it was Johnny. You know, you don't look a day older than when that series first started.
Did you ever get that drink from the castle?
No, you never actually.
Oh, you never? Oh, naughty man.
The £900 million I was mentioning in the introduction there is all about workplace giving, where people at source in their wage packet or their salaries give it. But we're missing out on what's been described as a 20-year-old tax-efficient scheme, and you're wanting to try and rectify that. What's it all about?
That's right. The 900 million is only the tax that you would get if you did it through payroll giving. And what happens if you register, if the employer registered with Give for Giving, they come along and they look after it from all the tax rebates and everything. And all the employer has to do is go to an employee and say, do you want to give to charity? If so, how much and which charity? The employer takes the box, the money gets taken out as wages every month, goes to charity, and Give for Giving collects the tax rebate. As simple as that, and they can collect £900 million.
It is usually me that's slow in these things, but I still don't understand the distinction between the old system, the ordinary payroll giving.
Give for Giving just makes it easier. They actually do the collection and they get all the tax back in. Whichever way you do it, as long as you're getting the tax benefit of it, but it's easier to go through Give for Giving.
It's the same tax break that you're using.
Yep.
This is just an organisation that does it on your behalf.
Yeah, I mean, self-employed people and people like myself who just give sometimes actually put it in a tax form and we get the tax rebate back that way and it goes to the charity. But Give for Giving is a much simpler way to do it for people in employment.
When you look at the stats comparing the United States, where they give 30% of employees give part of their salary, and here it's just 2.6%.
Amazing.
Are you saying it's because of the lack of knowledge, or are we just a bit tighter over here?
Do you know, I think it's a lack of knowledge, because I didn't hear about Give for Giving until they approached me about 8 months ago, and then I introduced it into my company, and we had a great feedback from the employees.
And I suppose people should understand, if you're saying they don't understand that's why we give less, the point of doing it this way is that you give £1, it costs you £1,
Yep.
but the charity gets £1.40 or so.
Well, if it's a 40% taxpayer and they give £6, the charity gets £10. If it's 25% taxpayer, it's £7.50, £10. So the tax gets that extra money.
Right.
Do you think is it the workers' fault or is it the employer's fault? Because the campaign Geared for Giving is very much aiming itself at employers.
I think it's the broadcaster's fault. I'm not getting this out. I can't send the message out. Come on. You know, we need to talk about it.
Recession is our fault. Now you're saying it's the charity's problem is our fault. Why is it our fault?
No, it's just it's not getting out. The message isn't getting out.
Right.
And you know, I'm a big employer, and I didn't know about it. So you could perhaps blame the charity for not banging the message, but we should just bang the drum and make sure everyone knows about it.
Right.
I think I worked in my company.
One of the problems with charity giving is sometimes people don't quite know what the money ends up getting used for. I quote the example of, you know, buying a goat in Africa. Actually, it's probably not the best thing to buy anyway, but if you're buying a goat, you'd like to think you get a goat at the end of it, and then we find out, actually, you don't get a goat at all. So I use that example.
It depends which charity
It depends which charity it is, but some charities have admitted they don't know it, and people worry about it getting all absorbed in hotel fees, administration costs.
People do use that as an opt-out sometimes, but they shouldn't. And the great thing about Geared for Giving is the employee decides which charity. It can be the smallest charity, it can be a local charity, any charity they want, and they can actually see what's happening with that money if they really spend their time and look at it.
I think we can put some details on screen at the moment, which tells people how to get, there it is if you're on the website there, all the W's, gearedforgiving.com.
Yeah.
With the probable coming recession, do you think people will give actually even less money? This will be the first thing they're going to stop doing is giving money away.
It is. The timing's wrong for me to come here today, of course. You know, I mean, if we're in a recession, and I think we are, then it is going to be more difficult, and people should actually be buttoning hatches down, saving money. Right. So it's a hard sell.
Perhaps even more important, therefore, to make sure what money you do give is done efficiently.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, Duncan.